Hey everyone, well I'm Jeremy Granado with Queen Bee's Honey. I just wanted to bring y'all along today. It's February 5th. We're going to be doing some inspections. It's going to get warm today. The first time we've had a warm day in a couple weeks. Earlier this week we had 3 days below freezing. What we're doing today is we're going to feed some sugar syrup. We're going to feed some supplement. We've also made some pollen patties yesterday. And I have a bunch of drawn comb. I have about 7 boxes of drawn comb that I'm going to be adding to boxes that need more room. About 3 weeks ago, they had several colonies with 4 or 5 frames of brood, most of them are averaging 2 or 3. So what we're going to do is go in there, kind of equalize, and then add boxes of drawn comb. That way, you know, our goal this year, these YouTube videos, I've been making it, titling them the road to 100, and that's 100 colonies is my goal for the year. But at the same time, I want to build them up strong to where I get a honey harvest. So I'm trying to let them brood up early, make early splits, let them draw out comb, and then have honey, you know, collect honey for the harvest. And then we still have the rest of the year, summer, fall, everything like that. So today what we're going to do, we're going to be adding some drawn comb and giving them some more space because it's an early spring, even though it did snow and we had sleet for ice for the last Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. But I don't want to add empty frames with foundations right now because it's still, you know, cold nights, up and down weather. So I'm going to give them some drawn comb, make some early splits, you know, with any brood, and then give them some frames to work in about a month whenever it gets warmer. So join along. Let's see how the day goes. Hopefully you can hear us better with this microphone too. Alrighty, so we're going to start with this colony here. I'm glad I have a microphone now, even if it does sound a bit muffled. It's a little windy out here. This one only had 2 brood frames last time I checked. I'm going to give them a dash of smoke. Let's see how they look today. And then we will give pollen patty supplement. Let's just dive in here. Not that much going on here. It looks like they do have some, I need to grab a hive tool really quick. Y'all can hear me as I run since I have a microphone now. But it is windy out here, West Texas. It gets real windy all year, then it gets super hot all summer. But at least you can see in this video here, I do have a feeder. I'm going to give them some smoke because they're already getting a little feisty right now. This is my first time actually wearing the Guardian suit, which I really like. And hopefully I'm not in your way. I got a little bit of honey here. This is cotton honey, so it's actually crystallized in the frames. These ones, see how I have empty frames here? I've got drawn comb now. This is all honey as well. Now I could take this box off and just give them the actual drawn comb for them to use. I see some red pollen on these bees, which is amazing. And the rest of these, they still need to draw out. This top box is mainly honey, which if we look in here, you could see a little bit of, there's one bee with red pollen somewhere in there. But like this top box, I'd rather replace it with some frames with drawn comb just because, as I said, I want them to move up. This is mainly just honey or empty frames. So let's go down to the bottom box. You can see this old pollen patty I had in here got hard. Get the smoker going. Let me make sure y'all could see that okay. Oh yeah. So there is a lot of honey in this colony. Crystallized honey again. Honey. I want to see how much brood they have. Last time they had 2 frames of brood. There we go. We've got a bunch of nectar on that actually. No eggs. But I believe this is a little brood nest here. Yep, we've got brood. A bee just flew off with some pollen. We got a little bit of capped brood. Eggs. So not a super strong colony, but they will boost up soon. See if I can find this red pollen coming in is surprising, which I'm glad at least. You know, we just had a 3-day freeze earlier this week. If we look right here, we've got some more pollen coming in. Not a lot of capped brood. There we go. It may just be the first cycle finishing. Oh, here's the queen. See if y'all can see her on here. So the queen is actually running around. Where'd she go? Where'd you go, baby? Oh, here she is. She's kind of a smaller dark queen. There she is right here. So we're gonna throw this together. We've got 2 frames of brood so far. I'm gonna go one more. I just want to see if she's been expanding out her brood nest, which it looks empty over here and empty over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the top box back on, but I'm going to give them some frames of drawn comb out. So, and also a pollen patty. I will let them continue to draw this one out. Put that here. I'm gonna throw a pollen patty on top here. So I don't want to give them anything super big. So this will be a good little over the brood nest, break it. And I made these pollen patties yesterday and they look beautiful. I really liked how they came out. So let's just throw this back on. That's got some good weight to it still. Like I said, a lot of this is cotton honey that crystallized, but they're still able to take it in. So any of these frames with just foundations, they probably took the wax off. So I will go ahead and replace those. Yeah. I want to give that queen some room, whatever room she needs. For instance, this one, they're actually drawn on that, so I'll leave that one to work on. So I'm going to grab 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, grab 2 more frames of drawn comb. So I'm going to bring a couple boxes out this way. I will edit these videos so y'all could kind of see what exactly I'm doing. That's honey. I don't like this box. I'm going to give them 2 frames of drawn comb. They got their pollen patty, and I forgot to give them supplements, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. This is their first colony for the day. Once I get a groove going, it'll be a lot easier to remember everything you're supposed to do. There we go. Now they can eat that pollen, brood up a lot more, and continue to expand. They are bringing in natural pollen, but that pollen substitute is just going to help out a little bit extra. All right, so this one had 4 frames of brood 3 weeks ago. I'm just going to give them a few puffs of smoke. Hopefully, we'll see some better numbers in here. They are moving up to the top box. And you see these outer frames, they're not drawn out. That's why I'm going to give them drawn out comb. But I'm not even going to mess with this top box right now. I'm going to go straight to the bottom box. There we go. Got some trash from the last pollen patties. Give them a little bit of smoke. Because the bees out here in West Texas, they're pretty rowdy. They're all over the phone, and I'm glad I have a microphone now. Because before, the phone would be buzzing, and you weren't able to hear anything. So they still have a lot of capped honey food stores. This isn't drawn out on one side, so I may just shake that off. Just kind of have to see what's going on in here. Nothing too good. I'm glad to see these bees alive after our little cold spell here. These aren't bursting at the seams yet, but okay, we've got brood that's emerging. Let's see here. We've got red pollen on the bees with a little patch of brood right there in the middle. I want y'all to see that red pollen. I don't know what it is out here, and the bees are attacking that foam pretty good. You can see the red pollen going in and out. So I'd rather give them more room. This is more of a honey frame. They've got a lot of honey. They've got a lot of weight in here. More capped honey, more food than they really need. But it's part of it. I could take some of the honey out and give them some more frames, but I do want to give them an open cell. Give them something to work on. So I'm gonna give them a pollen patty and some sub. I will give them a decent sized patty here to work on, so they can work from the top and bottom. That's a big patty, probably bigger than I need, but I'm doing it. Like I said, it's gonna be 75 today. This is just a supplement for them. And I'm gonna come to the top box and we will take any, I'm gonna smoke the phone because the bees are all over it. But any frames that are not drawn out, I will go ahead and replace them. So for instance, this one here, foundation, not touched. I can't believe I overwintered them with them like this. So we could re-wax if we need to. Oh yeah, we had a buttload of bees on that nectar, which it's crystallized inside the cells. And that's what happens with the cotton honey. It tastes great. It just crystallizes really fast. So let's see where I put my hive tool. Where did I? Okay, over here. Not seeing as much brood as I saw earlier, unless we have some up here. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. Which we're getting pollen stored in here, which is beautiful. And as I said earlier, you might be able to see a few cells. I know the lighting ain't the best, but a few cells of red pollen. So that's looking good. They are getting natural pollen in here, which is great. Get this one open. Oh yeah, beautiful frame. We got brood all in here. We got some drones. Drone there, drone there. I want to show y'all some of them because, for instance, there's a drone walking around here. Another drone up here. We got drone brood all in here. Look at that. That's all drone brood there. So it's almost that time of year. Getting ready for some splits to be made. That's why I'm trying to boost them as much as possible. There's the queen. She's a beautiful dark one again. See if y'all could see her. As she walks by, there's a drone. Where'd that queen go? I try to look at my camera, but look at the bottom. You got your drone brood, your little patch of worker brood, and it's just looking great. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this back in here. Give them some more room for the queen to lay. I'm going to pull any of these that are not drawn, as I said, because I want her to start laying like crazy. I don't want her to run out of room. Lots of honey frames. That just solid honey. And these boxes are heavy. So if I have to, when I make splits, if I need some extra honey frames, food frames, I could come into this colony, which the bees are just looking great. So I know the queen's on this one, so I'm going to put some frames on both sides of her with drawn comb. So let me get those really quick. Boom, boom. Not the best looking. Those look like they will work. The bees will clean them up. I'm going to place this in here. I'm going to squeeze this frame over. I'm going to shove this frame down in here. So I got 3, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to try to add. I don't know if I'd be able to add with all this in here another frame. We could try it. Since you're drawn out on this one, let's try it. There we go. They've got their pollen sub, they've got their pollen patty, they've got their supplement, and I'm going to be open feeding out in the field here shortly. So I do want to show y'all this. You know, this is part of beekeeping. I knew I had some weaker colonies, but this is what you call isolation starvation. We have frames with honey on the outside. These outside frames are just full of capped honey, but the cluster was just too small to keep warm when we had that frost and still feed. So I have a big pile of dead bees at the bottom. You can see here, these bees are still actually moving slowly, but they're probably dying. You see a whole bunch of bees with their heads inside the cells trying to eat, and they starved. But like I said, there's a drone right here. These bees are still moving. I just don't know if they're just super weak from, you know, not having any food close by. But like this, look, this is just empty. We got a patch of brood right here. Like I said, just, you know, bees with their heads inside, they froze. They're just trying to keep that brood warm. I don't even know if we have a queen in here. So we're gonna dig through this. Like I said, we got a pile of dead bees down here, which sucks to see. I should have moved them into a nook. But you've got honey here, honey here. Of course, these outer frames are just full of honey. Honey, pollen, inside is honey, but it wasn't close enough to the cluster. Same with this. Look at that. Honey, honey, and just a cluster of bees. So I'm pretty sure the queen died out in here. I'd like to see her dead before I do anything, but that's sad and it sucks. But on the bright side, I've got drawn comb to use. It really sucks, but it's right. We're getting ready to make splits. You lose colonies in the winter, and look at that, just beautiful drawn comb. So if anything, we will go ahead and shake this out, add it to another box. Honey, honey, and open combs. But like stuff like this would be perfect if I did a bee removal, if I caught a swarm, or if I made a split. I could use all this stuff. So in here, I don't see no queen, so I'm pretty sure she died. Nope, no queen. There's a lot of the dead bees from inside the cells to empty out the cells there. And this one as well. I don't see a queen. But this is part of beekeeping. I really wanted to make them a lot stronger for winter. But last year, starting from scratch, trying to grow, I had to make a whole bunch of smaller colonies. So there's this one here. We will just take this off. And there's all those pile of dead bees there. That could be another colony. Also, I would like y'all to see this. So this was a single deep, and before the cold front came in, I had a nook box and reduced it, and I'm glad I did. because they were too small to keep warm, but they did survive. Granted, there's no honey stores now. Good thing is with that dead out we just had, I'm able to grab some of those honey frames, throw them in here. But if you look in here, just no stores, no resources, but the bees are looking great. They have a little bit of nectar on here, but or sugar syrup, but nothing spectacular, I should say. Look at the bee coverage, it's good. We got a little patch of brood. The queen is doing great. So I'm glad I reduced them. And here's the queen, she's a beauty. The queen is right here at the edge of the frame. Oh, I'm so sorry. She's right here. You see her walking up. Now, I'm glad I did that because since I reduced them, they were able to stay warm. I do have a little bit of dead loss at the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and clean that. I see where my queen's at. I don't want her to run off, but I'm going to shake this box out. Oh, there's some honey right there. That's perfect. Don't want to squish my queen. Okay, I see her. So I'm going to go ahead and set this right here. I just want to shake all these dead bees out. I know they could do it themselves, but anything helps. So don't be scared to shake your bees. Some people say don't be rough with bees, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. But at the same time, you got to hurry. You can't take your time. So I'm going to put the honey frame on the outside. And I'm going to make sure my queen, she's right here. I'm going to bring her in here. She's fine here. I've got my bees there. I've got, look like bee bread. But I'm going to get another frame. I've got my frame of bees here with nectar and open cells. So she could lay in this frame. And instead of putting this frame back in, it is completely empty. I will shake the bees, any remaining bees, and get a frame of honey. Now, I'm just going to give them that. That gives them some feed for them to continue to grow. Have some bird comb. Now we have a bigger, better chance of these bees making it, especially with the warmer weather. I will add some supplement and feed. I was just looking at the bees I threw on the ground. They will be fine. They will continue to be fine. I'm going to get a small pollen patty if I could find one. I know I made some in here, and if not, I would just cut one in half. But let's go ahead, give them some supplement. And this is a big pollen patty. I'm just going to give them half. So let's give them that. We're going to have to shove it in place because this the way this lid is. And we'll scrape off some of this bird comb. And queen's in there safe. Bees are in there. And I just wanted to show y'all that. Just because I took the time and reduced them into a nucleus colony, they were able to stay warm and survive that cold winter snap that we had. All right, so we're gonna jump into this one. Colonies aren't looking as great as I wanted, but it's part of it. And we're just gonna adapt and overcome, I guess. So this one had 3 brood frames. Last time we checked about a month or 3 weeks ago. Okay, they're looking strong right there. I've got bees on the lid, on the cover, no queen. I'm gonna give them a little bit of smoke. A little bit of smoke at the entrance. I do have a few dead bees outside. Hopefully that's just them cleaning up. Okay, not the best looking, but we'll see what we got in here. Got some bird comb. Now, I don't know if it's this box is warped or what, but these frames just fall down, so I may swap out the box. I'm gonna start from the outside, even though it looks like just honey. Looks like I'm gonna have to start feeding all of these boxes pretty good. A lot of them either have capped honey that's crystallized, and you can see the aggressiveness from these bees. They kind of look like they're robbing or something, but they ain't. Honey here. Bees are all over the honey. Let's see here. Got a good nectar rainbow. They actually got syrup in here, nectar, whatever that is. And that's looking great. So they've got plenty of food, unlike I thought. We'll go into here. Empty cells. We've got more nectar here. We've got drones in here as well. So it's almost that time of year. Drones are coming in. I bet in the next couple weeks will be good. Let me see. I want to see any kind of brood in here. I don't see any right now. This side looks better. And pollen. That's just more of a food frame as well. Nectar. Hopefully you can see with the camera. I am using my phone on a tripod now with this microphone. There's bees all over it, so hopefully you could hear better too. Let's look in here. Okay, this is where we have our brood. Beautiful coverage here. And let me see if I can move some of these bees out of the way. Oh yeah, I can see eggs. Yep, so she's doing great wherever she's at. I really don't need to take my time to look at her or look for her. But I do want to see what all we have in here. I could probably add a second box just because the other frames are just honey or resources. Another good coverage of bees. Yep, and I see brood in there, which is great. Oh yeah, there's cat brood on this side. Lots of pollen. There's the queen. She's long and beautiful right here. I'll try to bring her to y'all. It's kind of hard to record, do all this, pay attention, and show y'all where the queen's at. She's walking right here. You can see her right there, running. So I will add another box. That's 2 frames of brood already. Oh yeah, good coverage there as well. That's all nectar. And then they got capped honey on the outside, so I do want to give her some room. So I will actually, this box is ridiculous. As I said, it is either, I probably should get it out of service. The frames just slip out. I don't know if, I kind of see what's happening. It bowled out a little bit. So these frames just fall in, which makes things harder. I will add, this is pretty much empty here. There's honey on that side. I will just add above it. I'm just gonna add this here. Scrape off this burr comb. Should probably save that throughout the season, but don't really have time for that. Yeah, that's just not how I like it. But I'm gonna add supplement down here and a pollen patty. I'll add a good pollen patty here. Let the bees eat. Hopefully produce a lot more. They've got a lot of honey stores in here. Granted, a lot of it is crystallized. But I need to grab another box. Let's see what I got here. I know y'all can't see me, I'm kind of off camera. But I've got frames, drawn comb for them. And I could definitely add 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll give them these fully drawn comb because she's laying great. I still have to go to another bee yard and manage out there as well. So you see I've got a lot of bees on the outside of the box. Hopefully y'all can see from y'all's angle. I'm gonna smoke them in. It's that time of year. I love bee season. Just got to build these girls up strong. Do removals, build more colonies, and just continue to grow. So I'm gonna add this upside down. Bam. So I'm happy with the way that one looked for what it was. And now I will try and turn y'all off if I can find my stylus. Oh, right under my smoker. Here we go.